Hello, it's the Dazzling One, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to repair mistakes. I know that I have mentioned, so this will be part one of a how to come back from mistakes videos. Hello, it's the Dazzling One, teaching tips and tricks to the everyday girl. I'll get your gorgeous to you. In today's video, as you can see, my face looks a little interesting. Well, in today's video, I'm going to show you some common mistakes that we make when we're doing our makeup. Of course, you probably wouldn't make all of them at one day, but crunched for time and you want to fix this. So how do we do that? Now let's start with the top. My eyebrow's a little bit wacky, so what you're going to need: cotton swabs, a few cotton balls, a few Q-tips if you need, makeup remover, any makeup that you used. So now let's start from the first thing I did. A bit out of control is my eyebrow, so I'm going to zoom in so you're able to see that just a bit more. That's the first thing. So the brow is a little out of control. I want maybe a little bit too bold with that. So Q-tip is, I'm going to make it not as bold as it is, because that's not like it doesn't match the other one. It would probably be, a bold eyebrow, but you want them to always be the same. So a girl's best friend is oil-free eye makeup remover. So just shake your eye makeup remover up. What you're going to do is just get just a little bit on the Q-tip. Q-tips are something that you will find that are super, super duper useful. I'm just going to kind of go in, and I'm going to just kind of go right in and soften it. Okay. I'm at it. You see, I made a common mistake, the mascara on the bottom. So I'm going to use my same little Q-tip, and I'm going to go back over there. You might even need to use a swab for that one, because that's a pretty big one. When I put it there, I was like, whoa. Even better. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little eyebrow spoolie, and while it's still kind of wet, I'm just going to kind of just brush my brow, and just kind of the product that's left in there, just kind of brush it back in. If I wanted to, I could go back in with my brow pencil and just kind of reshape it, but I'm just going to kind of just shape it just as it is. I don't need to add any more additional. So that one is product, because that is a girl's best friend. Is I'm going to take a little bit of oil-free eye makeup remover and put it on a cotton ball now. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wipe very neatly underneath. Okay. So I've gotten that off. Now, yeah, you notice I've taken makeup off. That's okay. We're going to fix that, because that's something we want to, And it's also nice to use it if you need to if you went outside with your eyeshadow, you can always just take that and kind of just go under, or if your line is not as crisp. Now, you see, again, another thing I did, 2 different lines on the liner. So now what I want to do is a little trick that I really enjoy doing it, because it really makes it a lot easier. Now, before I get to the liner, I'm going to take that Q-tip I used earlier, and I'm going to get a little product on the other side of that Q-tip. And now you see I did make some problem. I made a few mistakes. I'm going to go and bring it in just a smidge more. Now see where I made a bunch of mistakes there? And I don't have time to, maybe I'm rushing out. I don't have time to redo my thing. So I'm just going to kind of just very gently just pat where I made, like, the mascara went up. But I don't have time to redo my whole eye, because this eye's fine and I'm ready to go. So So I just kind of pat it. Now that'll be easy. That's going to dry. Now see how I made this liner just way too big, and this one is just right. So I'm going to take that same Q-tip, and if you have to use more than once, you don't want to just wipe it off. You want to wipe down very gently, because I don't want to have to redo the liner. I just want to fix where I made some mistakes. Now see, I got all that extra liner off. It looks very neat. Now, of course, like I said, I don't have time to redo my whole eye. I just don't have time to do that. So now I'm going to get that, because I kind of came up with it. And I'm just going to wipe that off there. And I'm going to take that other cute cotton ball, and I'm just going to kind of just very gently wipe that eye. You see? Now I've kind of fixed it, but now I've wiped a lot of the product off. I wiped a lot of the color off, and so we need to come back from that. The lips are looking crazy, right? Don't worry, we're going to fix it. Eye colors that I used. And okay, all over eye brush. Anytime you're replacing something that you've kind of messed up, you want to make sure that you used, so give me one. So since I wiped off the colors, so now I'm going to just add the colors. I don't have time to do like the whole eye again. I just don't. So I've added the shadow. I might even put a splash over here to brighten him up a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to take the other color that I used, and I'm just going to put that in there. Okay. So it's just more or less fixing it to make it look like this other guy, and you can always add anywhere. So now those two eyes are fixed, as you can see. The mascara is still on the eye. I didn't really mess with the mascara, but I just got what I had down here and kind of on the color. So the color is saved. I don't have time. It might take me 5 minutes to do something like this. Now, if you noticed, my cheeks on this cheek is fine. It's in the right place. Down here we got a little bit happy. So now what we're going to do is take a clean, dry cotton ball, and we're just going to kind of go in like this. And then we went over here a little bit. These might be mistakes you make because you're rushing. It might be mistakes you make because you're running out of time, and you're like, oh, I gotta get going, and so you're a little heavy-handed because you're moving faster than you would be. So all I did was take it off with the cotton ball. But remember, those are powder. You can always apply additional additional foundation, but what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take my Mary Kay Mineral Powder Foundation, which in my opinion is a girl's best friend. I'm going to get it on the brush. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of buff it into those areas that I may have wiped off. And I might go around any place else. I might even add a little more cheek color to this cheek, since this one was a little heavier and we softened it up. That's another thing you could do. Cheek brush, and just kind of going over that one, not to make it look crazy, but just kind of to bring it up to where that one is. So that's how you come back out of this. Now, your lips. Stick is pretty easy to repair. I went a little out of whack with it, and I did that intentionally. Say you're not wearing lip liner or lip primer, you're just going to take your cotton swab, and you're just going to kind of wipe that off. Now in this situation, I might wipe my whole lip off. Okay, again, I don't have time to repair it. But I want to make sure I get it all off the edges here. Now again, since I wiped it off, I'm going to go back in with the little bit of powder that was still on my brush. So Now that I've wiped off the lips, I'm just going to go back in and I'm just going to add them. And if you're not really steady with applying your lipstick, you really want to use a liner, because it's going to help you stay in, in your lines. So there I am, all set. Now, really, you wouldn't make all the mistakes, but if you happen to, whether you're starting out, a lot of times I think it's because you're rushing. We have such chaotic lives, but I hope you found this video helpful. Remember to like, subscribe, and comment. We're working our way to 1,000. We're almost to 100, so and I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Bye-bye.